Hey everyone, welcome back for the Craft and Loft tutorial. I've decided that I'm going to start doing some quick, easy, beginners, intermediate, and some advanced tutorials, starting with the Memory Dex card. Remember these? Kind of remind you of those Rolodex cards. I found that these are super cute, functional, and fun. Not only can you use these for scrapbook pages, you can use these, like if you receive them, you can trim the bottom if you don't want to put them in a Memory Dex holder. You can easily swap them. You can cut them in halves depending on how they're decorated. You can use them in pocket letters. There's so many ways that these Memory Dex cards can be utilized, especially if you're doing crafty swaps. So stick around. I think you'll be interested to see how this can turn into something that you can share. Okay guys, here's some things you're going to need. We're going to use one Memory Dex card. And as you can tell, this one is decorated with some cute perforations along the edges. It's a standard Memory Dex punch with the holes. I've received some crafts that people have really had one hole over here, one hole over here, and it just wasn't functional for what I was trying to do. Like I said, this is going to be a beginner craft. We've got a few die cuts. You can use any die cuts. I suggest getting ones that, you know, either fit on the Memory Dex card or kind of overlap. Give it that 3D effect, you know. So I've got some cute little, and a lot of these things I received in some swaps in a lot of my Facebook groups that I'll be using today. So I won't be shouting out any names of companies unless you already see one. But these are just some things that I received in different swaps. So we've got paper. We have some cute 3D sunflower embellishments, which I'll go ahead and clip some of this greenery off to make it look more standard. We've got some holographic, I guess they're kind of like a thick adhesive holographic chipboard. We've got some stickers. Can't go wrong with stickers. And I have some, these are the cutest pearls. Aren't these pretty? They're 3D embellishment pearls. I love these. I always get those in different colors. And what else do we need? Maybe we'll use some ribbon. And don't get me wrong, we may not even use all of these items. Here's some cute little pop-up rhinestones. We may just use 5 things, not all 20. We've got some Nuvo drops. We've got some stickles. I can never ever say that. Okay, and what else do we have? I think that's gonna be it for now. But you always need your adhesive, your choice. I use my adhesive gun and I use double stick white line tape. I love my needle nose, well I call them needle nose, tweezers. And let's just adjust this just a little bit. There we go. I've got my Tim Holtz, which I said I wasn't going to call names out, but I can't help but use these cute little itty bitty staples. They're just so much fun. My scissors, Teflon scissors, my corner punch, and can't make anything without popping it up with my stick-up dots. All right, so with that being said, so I have this white Memory Dex card, okay? Now, in a lot of groups that I'm in, one in particular, it's important to not just have one Memory Dex card, one embellishment, one die cut, one sticker, and then you call it done. Would you really want to receive something like that? I mean, honestly. So what I'm going to show you is a way that you can use just a few things as a beginner and create a masterpiece, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, I will tell you, using a white cardstock piece of Memory Dex card like this can be a bit challenging because you don't have any layers to build from. So it's almost as if you have to start from scratch. So if you have a machine at home, which I use a Cameo, or a die punch where you can punch exactly, you have to be careful because you want to make sure that it's lined up correctly so that whenever the person receives it, it fits into the Memory Dex holder or whatever they're going to use. You want it to stay standard. That's the first beginner's tip when doing Memory Dex cards, okay? But in this case, I showed you a piece of, it's a Thanksgiving theme, as you can tell, a Thanksgiving piece of paper. My crutch in life is these double-sided 6x6 notepad papers. I mean, you can't go wrong with it, right? So what I like to do is, if you don't have the exact punch, like I said, I receive these, a lot of these in different swaps. So what I like to do is I like to line it up. Of course, this looks backwards to you, but it's still pretty much the same thing. I don't go down to the holes. I go right above where the hole line is, if you can see that. Okay, and then I line it up a bit. And well, you know what I'll do? Let me flip it over so that way you guys can see it. I can see because I've been doing this so often, but I line it up on the light side where you can see your mark. Of course, I'm using one of my Craft & Loft pens that I create. It's a beadable pen. I customize these pens with charms, and of course, everybody knows that turtles are my favorite animal, reptile, whatever, but these are my favorite little pens to write with. I do have a few of these left in stock, I think. I don't know, everybody's like going crazy for Christmas right now. So I don't know, I'd have to get with the ladies and see what we have left in stock. But as you can see, I outlined the edge of the Memory Dex, okay? I'll take my scissors. Of course, if you have a machine, a cutting machine, a Cricut or a Cameo or a Joy, which is Cricut too, but if you have one of those, it will work the same. Just you wanna make sure you measure in about 1/4 of an inch. Because like I said, it's all about layering with these Memory Dex cards. You don't want to just send a piece of sticker and a piece of cardstock and say, I hope you like it. Really? I mean, there's so many things you can do with the scraps that you have for Memory Dex cards because they're so small. You don't necessarily have to go out and break the bank. Okay, there is a little bit of pen mark on the edge, but guess what? It's all right because I'm using this side for my first layer of coloring. If you want to use the opposite side and don't want to see the paint, I suggest you copy it again. Copy it again for another layer. As a matter of fact, we will do that because guess what? I'm going to use this plaid for another hint of element. So just a few more seconds. We'll go ahead, and this time, since I use it as a scrap, I went ahead and outlined the entire thing. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut through it. Yeah, using these scraps, you know, and these 6x6 pages, it really doesn't leave a lot for scraps for a lot of these Memory Dex cards because at the end of the day, you've got all of these cute little pieces that you can just layer. I use a lot of my scraps for doing pocket letters as well, which I'm going to do a tutorial on how to do a beginner, easy but cute and layered look for a pocket letter as well. I've received so many awesome swaps, but I will tell you, I've received some swaps that were like, should I take this personal that I didn't receive what I sent to you? Which I understand everybody's level is different. That's why it's important to join a group of your expertise because you want to make sure everybody's happy with your craft, right? Okay, so back to what we were saying. So I'm going to turn it upside down for you guys to see. So as you can see, it fits perfectly, right, on top. So you've got that cute edge, like an offset, like I like to call it, my Cameo Stiletto Studio terminology. It's lined up on both sides, and that's perfect. So look, we have actually 2 layers because boom, you have your Memory Dex, boom, boom, number 2, you've got your first layer, okay? All right, so now I will tell you this, do not adhere your first layer until you're ready to your base. So I'll put my base to the side. All right, I'm just gonna turn it towards me for now because I wanna see how I'm gonna line this up. It's time to decorate. Can you believe that? This one layer with all of this busyness on this piece of cardstock gives it so many different elements and colors that you can work with, okay? And since this is a Thanksgiving theme, we're gonna hold off on using this for the moment. I have some super cute die cuts like this one here. So I love how this kind of overlaps here, but I also think it might look best under. The only true way of finding out, because I have to be particular, is how is that gonna ride up on top of that with those holes? I actually kind of like that. I actually kind of like that leaf sticking out. And then what I could do is pop this one up on top. What do you guys think? All right, let's try it. All right, so let's do, oh, hold on, let me see. See, it's definitely like, it builds upon itself, right? It definitely builds. So if I put this here, will this take away from my crispy edge? Let's take a look and see. I don't know, guys. This layer is looking pretty good. If I made this all one and then pop this up, I think we got it. All right, so let's give it a shot. So what I'm gonna do is get my glue. Now, like I said, you can use any glue you prefer. I prefer using glue, bottles of glue for little itty bitty spaces like this, because sometimes when I use my white liner tape, it overlaps the edges and it just makes a messy look. So, or if I use my dot, sometimes it sticks other pieces together because they're so small. So in this case, because this glue dries super quick, and I don't recommend using a glue that, you know, you're not used to using. Use a glue that you feel confident. Because this is going to be layered on so many different things, I'm not going to use a whole bunch of glue to stick this down, because I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of this, which will keep everything that's underneath it intact. Okay, so let's just go ahead. I don't want to go up too high with my glue because I don't want to risk it overlapping. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do my first initial layer. And I will flip this around for you to see. So it does take away from that cute little scalloped edge at the top, but you want to know something? I'm loving this pumpkin overlap look. So here you have it. Oh my God, like this just looks super cute on its own. I know I said less is not really the best thing for this, but that on itself looks super cute too. So imagine if we would have had a different, like a prism layer behind this for this card, or if this actual Memory Dex card was metallic, or maybe a print, you know, that would look super cute. But we're just gonna keep going with this for now. Maybe we'll do another video, I don't know. Okay, so now I'm gonna use my glue, my tape runner. And I have to be careful because I want to make sure I do not get any adhesive overlapping. So I'll probably just go ahead and put it on the base of the, and like I said, we're going to put it on the base of the leaf, but like I said earlier, I'm going to layer my third layer so that it will kind of keep everything intact. So we don't have to worry about that. All right. Now, normally I use my, matter of fact, let me go ahead and grab it because I don't want to say normally, because that's what I do. I like to use my bone folder to make sure that my adhesive is good. And if you're using a metallic like this, because I know that it's embedded into the cardstock, I'm okay with embossing, and plus this will be covered. But in most cases, it's really important to make sure that everything sticks. And I usually like to go behind it. I mean, it's okay. You gotta be careful too if you put too much glue, because it'll seep out when you bone folder it. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and, actually I just had an idea. What if we put a piece of ribbon over top of this, right? Look at this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of ribbon. Like I said, this is all about layering, okay? Let's put this to the side real quick. I like to use my double-sided tape for fabric most times, and you can also use glue. And since I'm gonna put this here, I'm gonna just run it like this, and then I'm also gonna run some back here because I think I'm gonna wrap it. So it'll give it that like finished look. Use my Teflon scissors so they don't stick on camera. All right, I ripped that one off. I don't know why I did that, but okay. And this is definitely a good time to use your bone folder, is to get those pieces of adhesive layered. It's so much easier to peel, right? Whenever you bone folder your, oh, and don't mind my boo-boo. I actually literally scratched myself today when I was getting ready to cook dinner. I was like, oh, right before I'm about to do this Memory Dex video, I scratched myself. So now I got a cute little Scooby-Doo. Where are you? where are you, Band-Aid? Okay, so I shouldn't have taken the adhesive off the back of this. Oh, what was I thinking? I was talking about my finger. So, which is okay still, because look, it's just a little bit. We've all done that. But look, you're still able to see that there's still adhesive on there. But the important part is that this is stuck down. All right, so as you can tell, this is the ugly side, but it keeps the front finished. Look how cute that is. I mean, that in itself looks like a cute memory dex. It just looks like it's short, like it didn't have enough money to pay their bills. So it's kind of short down here. So, all right, what we're gonna do now is see how that looks before I secure this down. Do we need anything else? You know, this looks like it could be even a little pocket. You know, look how this could be. Like if we were to maybe staple it and glue the sides, look, this could be a cute little, like a pocket even. I don't know. No, not today, huh? Okay. All right. So now we're going to place down our third layer. So it's up to you. Do you want to use glue to make sure? Because now we're talking layer on layer, and these are different textures. We got to figure out, is that how we're going to do it? Or are we going to just white line tape it? I think I'm going to use both. I think I'm going to do my glue around the edges. And I'm going to just take it to the middle. And I like to go like this because I don't want it to seep out. So it's almost like I take my glue tip and I run it in circles all around the edges. This kind of like helps it kind of like soak into the paper. And then whenever, to me, this is just my opinion, I think it dries faster when I do this. I don't know, it's just probably all in my head. It's all in my head. Okay. Okay, so this is where my tweezers come in because I just did my nails for you guys for this video, and I want to do another video after this. So I would use my tweezers just to get me a little bit of help. And I love this glue because I can position. I have time to reposition if I need to. And as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about to myself, where is my bone folder? Because I'm going to need you soon. So look how that's laying on there nicely. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to tell you, I have that glue on there, so I want to make sure that it sticks. So I'm going to just lightly push my bone folder over all these edges, make sure that that glue finds its friends, especially down here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see, which you should be, but at the bottom where it meets, it's so important that you don't have that stick up because, you know, putting it into the Memory Dex card into a Memory Dex roller or cassette or a box, you want to make sure that these things don't come unhinged. Your embellishments and your papers don't come unhinged as you flip through to other Memory Dex. So far, what do you guys think? Yeah, I'm telling you, this ribbon is your fourth layer, if you think about it like that. All right, so now that we've made our base, let's go ahead and start adding our extra embellishments. So we've got this big, huge sunflower, which I really, really love. But does it really go with this theme? I think it does, because it's got that yellow, but let me keep looking. I've got, oh, look at this. I think this actually is better. What do you think? Because we've got the pumpkin in the background. It's fall. He's going to take home the goodies for food. What do you guys think? Okay. I think what we're going to do for this one is we're going to pop it up, but I feel like we need another layer of something on here. I feel like this isn't enough. So I'm going to stick this here just for now. Oh, that is super cute. Let's see, what do we have? We've got the sunflower. I don't know why I keep going back to the sunflower, huh? Let's see. Let's just see if we can play with this a little bit. I don't know, I think I'm liking that. Okay, I think that's that. All right, and then I have this other embellishment. It's like a little pick. I wonder if this would look like it's too much. Let's see if we stuck it over here. We stuck that there. And the give thanks would be here. And possibly here. I don't know. Give thanks might not be in it, but I love to have some sort of sentiment on my Memory Dex cards, even if it's just be grateful, be thankful. That's too big. We can't use any of those. I think we're gonna have to go with this here, this give thanks, because this is just I keep going to it. Let's take that off. Let's put that give thanks, because honestly, that in itself just looks so stinking cute. And then if I add this guy on top, looks like we've got ourselves a Memory Dex card. And how I'm gonna do it, so what I like to do is give gifts as I'm making crafts. So because I'm gonna swap this one, I think, or maybe give it away to one of the admins, because they do so much for us in these groups, I may just put like a foam dot on top of a foam dot so that they can reuse the embellishment, right? So what I'll do is I'll take one foam dot. As you can see, the bow is in the front with a twine. So I'll put one foam dot in the back. And then in order for them to be able to use it, I will add another foam dot on top of the adhesive strip that protects it. So they can just pull that off and reuse it. All right, I had to reinsert the memory card because it was full. Okay, so like I was saying, we want to double up our pop-ups, because on this level we've got 2 on top of each other, but on this one we want it to sit above everything else. We don't want it to be struggling to be seen, so I would add an additional 2 pop-ups to each pop-up as well, pop-up dot. And a lot of people call it foam dots, foam adhesive. I just call it pop-up dots because that's what it's doing for me. It's popping up my image. Okay, now it's time for round 2. A friend of mine used to call, when you do something twice or you see something twice, a replay. So it's time to do a replay on the pop-up dots. I'm gonna have to use that as my little YouTube channel slogan. Ready for a replay? So maybe I'll say that in my next Memory Dex replay, just a different theme. I think we're gonna do Christmas theme next, because everyone's getting prepared. I'm gonna tell you, I went out to the store today, and I think more people, I guess after they went and did their ballots, the cast their ballots, they went shopping and started Christmas shopping. So luckily my husband and I are almost finished. He was ready to get started early. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead and see how this pops up. Make sure it's between that stick, because we don't want that stick to and you know, overlapping to some of that white will also include that white base down here with it, you know. Some people like to take paint and they'll paint this, or they'll use ink, stamp ink. You can use dabbers. You can use strips of washi tape to cover these up. But I really like that white on this because of the white in the truck, and the white a little bit in the background of the third layer. But here we go, guys. This is it. If anything, you can add. It gets addictive. You see how I'm just addicted to adding different things now? So I may add like something here, maybe something here. Some people don't like all this space open, but to me, I don't want to take away from here. This is beginner. Okay, let me just get you a closer look. You layered this. Simple background, and you can even decorate the back if you so choose. I mean, in this case, like I said earlier, I wanted to add something more because I didn't like the white. So I will 9 times out of 10 just go ahead and add this, or maybe just incorporate both sides. You can do that as well. So let's go ahead and add that, because I want to use that cute pink plaid. It also leaves it up to the receiver. If the receiver wants to decorate the other side, some people like to have all of their Memory Dexes double-sided, and so they may go ahead and do that. I'm going to trim some of this ink off that I used. I got on there just to give it that nice clean. I am particular when it comes to detail like that. I mean, I know I'm not the one receiving it, but because I'm not the one receiving it, I'm the one who made it. So I want to make sure that it looks up to par. All right. So I think I'm just going to give it that edge that the front had with that cute white cusp on the top. And let's bone folder it. I know some people call it, what do you call it? I don't know. Call it something, but I call it bone foldering. All right, so there we go. There's so many things you can do with this, right? You can easily add some cute little 3D pumpkins back behind there. You can add some more flowers. You know, it's totally up to you how you want to do that. That doesn't look bad in there, does it? Look at that. That looks super cute on there too. But I'm going to add some extra goodies. All right, so here it is. Your beginner multi-level crafted Memory Dex card. Front and back, standard, ready to go. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tune in. We're going to do a Christmas one next. Thank you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And hopefully you hit the bell so that we can keep you alert to some of our upcoming tutorials. All right, thanks guys.